What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Swift video. In today's video, we're going to be exploring geometry readers in your SwiftUI app. So basically, we've got this horizontally scrolling view here. It's just an H stack and a scroll view, but the interesting thing that you'll notice is that the numbers inside of this actually change as we horizontally scroll over it. And the way we're able to do that is by leveraging a geometry reader to get relative positions. So it's important to understand this because we're gonna build on this and build really cool animations and effects with this type of component, this view. So if that all sounds good, definitely start by smashing the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm, hitting subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll also call out that I'm doing this video with a brand new mic setup, so do let me know before clicking away if the audio is better, if it's worse, if you still enjoy listening to my lovely voice. So all sarcasm and jokes aside, let's get into geometry readers in SwiftUI. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started by opening up Xcode and creating a brand new project here. I'll go ahead and stick with the app template under iOS. Let's go ahead and give this project a name of GeoReader. Make sure your language, of course, is set to Swift, and both your lifecycle and interface are both set to SwiftUI. Go ahead and continue, save the project wherever you'd like. I'll toss it onto my desktop, and we'll get into things once Xcode decides to stop being slow. I'll go ahead and close up this right panel. We'll hit resume in our canvas here to load up the preview, and actually I'll also change the preview device to something a little more interesting like the 12 Pro Max. So let's get into geometry readers. So the best way to really exemplify and talk about what the heck a geometry reader is by doing an example. So I'm going to get rid of the label that this template gives us, and the root view I'm going to add here is going to be a navigation view, and right inside of it I am going to stick a geometry reader, if I can find it here, and this takes a single parameter in its view builder, which I'm going to call proxy since its type is a geometry reader proxy. Now to actually visualize this, let's go ahead and add a background color modifier, and I'll give it a color of pink. So right off the bat, what you'll notice is this geometry reader expands to take up the entire space of its parent view, which is the navigation view, both horizontally and vertically. This is by design. Geometry readers are special views that allow for its inner views to relatively position themselves based on the proxy. Now, what is a proxy? The proxy basically gives you the origin and size in which coordinate space that the geometry reader actually is. So in this case, a geometry reader is inside of the navigation view, so from the proxy, you can actually get the X, Y, width, and height relative to the navigation view as well as the entire UI. So let's do an example by creating a horizontal stack, and we're going to relatively position two labels inside of it. So let me first start by adding two labels, and once again I'm going to add a background color to each of these guys so we can actually see what's going on. So there's the first one, and let's do the second one here, change this to second. So right off the bat, what you'll notice is that both of the labels are very small in terms of their background color, and that's because the frame for the labels is wrapping the text. So if you wanted to achieve a effect where both of these are 50% the width and height, you would basically use a combination of spacers and multiple stacks and padding to achieve that relative relational position, right? So doing it that way is perfectly fine, but there's an easier way you can do it, and that is with the proxy. So I'm going to add a frame here, and on the width, we're going to actually pass in proxy.size.width divided by 2, and you'll actually see this update in real time on the right-hand side. I'll also do the same thing for the height and just change this to be size.height. And now you'll see this blue label is taking up 50% the width and the height. So proxy is basically giving us the width of the pink view here, which is our navigation view, as well as the height. So I can take this frame and also tack it onto our other label, and we both have these as 50% of the width and height. So let's get a little more interesting. So not only, like I said, can you get the X, Y, width, and height within your own coordinate space, so the immediate view outside of the geometry view, which is the navigation view, but you can also get it for the entire UI. So the way you would do that is by doing the following. So I'm going to say let's frame is going to be proxy. Give me the frame in the global coordinate space. Now you saw there the autocomplete loves to never cooperate, so if it's not popping up for you, just go ahead and type it out. And just to actually visualize this frame, let me also go ahead and change the label here to frame.debug description. And we'll actually see here that the frame is 0 from the X, Y 143, and the width and height respectively there. So the 143 is actually a reference to the fact that this label, the top left of the blue corner here, is 143 points from the top of our UI. Now if you go ahead and change this .global to be .local, you'll notice that the Y will now adjust to be 0. And those of you that are coming from the world of UI Kit, this might make sense to you. Local is basically this blue label within the coordinate space of its immediate parent, in UI Kit referred to as bounds. So that's basically saying that the top left corner of this blue label is 0 from the X and Y of its container, which is the navigation view, which you can see the pink is not visible at the top left of the blue corner. So let's go ahead and do one more example to really show how powerful this concept is. I'll also call out that I'm going to do quite a few videos on geometry readers and the really awesome animations and effects you can achieve with them pretty simply, because honestly they're pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do something. Let me get rid of these labels here in the horizontal stack. And I'm actually going to, let me actually get rid of the geometry reader here as well. We'll just type it out again. The first thing I'm going to do is create a scroll view here. And I'm going to say that we want this scroll view to be horizontal, just like that. And we want to try to spell things correctly. And then inside of this, I'm going to put the H stack back. And we're going to do a for each loop over, let's say 0 to, I don't know, perhaps 20. And I'm going to show how the geometry reader can be used to relatively get values for various calculations. So I'm just doing a for loop here. Inside of this, we are going to actually toss in a geometry reader. So let's see where it is, this guy right here. And it's going to have a proxy in just like before. We'll toss a text inside of here. And let's see, what do we want to put in here? I'm just going to put for the time being the number itself. And let's see why this is complaining. Let's see, we're doing a for each. 0 to that. The ID is self. Something is the matter here. Let's see. Should not be an issue. Cannot convert value of type close range. For each 0 to 20 with the ID of self. That should not be a problem. Let me try typing that one more time. Let's see what I screwed up here. We're going to do a for each over 0 to 20. I'll go ahead and say num in. And let's see if that gives me an issue. Looks like we don't actually need the ID. We might actually, because now we have another error. So let me go ahead and say the ID is now self, like that. Maybe I had a typo before, but that should be the appropriate syntax. And we should start seeing a text on the right-hand side here, which in fact we do. From 0 all the way to 20 is what it should be. So let's see what's going on. So the first thing that's going on is the text is wrapping and everything looks a little strange. So what we are going to do is I'm going to first and foremost set a frame of 100 by 100 on our geometry reader, just like that. I'll also go ahead and set a background color on this so we can actually see each individual view, and we'll go ahead and give it some padding as well. So now things are starting to look a little more appropriate. And if you take a look at the preview, hitting the live preview, you can scroll and you see all of your views here. So making some progress. So all of these numbers in these labels are A, first of all, pretty small, but B, they're all just incremental. So let's use the proxy to now get relative values, and this will show you guys the power of this. So I'm going to say get the X position in the global space. So this is going to be proxy, and we're going to say give me the frame in global, and then off of this, give me the origin.x. And here I'm going to go ahead and interpolate the X, but let me also go ahead and bump up the font size here. So I'll go ahead and add a couple modifiers for bold and maybe a font size of 24. And if you take a look at this now, things are starting to get interesting. So first and foremost, the first thing here, let me actually wrap this to be an integer so we don't get all those trailing numbers. So I'll wrap it like that. The first square here is 16 from the left, but watch what happens as I scroll it. It actually decreases. And actually all of them decrease. So this one is 147, this one is 287, and they're going down as we're moving this across, obviously, because the actual square is moving relative to the global coordinate space. Now, why does this matter? This matters because now that you have these dynamic values changing for every view, you can imagine that you can apply various effects and animations to each of these views based on their relative position. So a really common one that you might have seen various, maybe in another video somewhere, an article across the internet, is creating a carousel effect. So in a carousel effect, the leftmost view would be larger and the right ones will be, smaller and positioned to look like they're further back in terms of a depth perspective. And as you go ahead and you scroll it, it would, increase the size, giving you that carousel effect. So that's going to be a separate video that I'm going to do, but I wanted to share why geometry readers can be used in these nested, solutions to build out pretty cool UIs pretty simply. So once again, a quick recap: geometry reader, special kind of container view, gives you this proxy in, and this proxy is of type geometry reader proxy. So I wonder if I actually go ahead and try to open it up, if it'll show me the API for it. Looks like it will not, so that's all right. We can go and talk about it in another video later on. So that is all I've got for you guys today. If you haven't dropped a like down below, don't forget to do so. Let me know in the comments if you're using SwiftUI, if you have any feedback, any video suggestions. Love hearing from you guys. Also, once again, I'm using a new mic for this video, so let me know what you think of the audio. Is it better? Is it worse? Do you still enjoy listening to my lovely voice? And all sarcasm aside, definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't done so already. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.